Intro. Hey there, welcome to my channel, Mind Bites, where we talk about all things personal finance and investing. Today, I want to share with you a book summary of the highly acclaimed book, Rich Dad Poor Dad, by Robert Kiyosaki. This book has sold over 32 million copies worldwide and is considered a must-read for anyone who wants to achieve financial success. Chapter 1, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. In this chapter, Kiyosaki introduces the two most important figures in his life, his rich dad and his poor dad. His rich dad was actually his friend's father, who was a successful entrepreneur and investor, while his poor dad was his biological father, who was an educated but financially struggling government employee. Kiyosaki talks about how he learned two different approaches to money from his two dads, and how those approaches shaped his own financial journey. Chapter 2, The Rich Don't Work for Money. In this chapter, Kiyosaki explains how the rich don't work for money, they make money work for them. He encourages readers to start thinking like entrepreneurs and investors instead of employees who trade their time for money. He also stresses the importance of financial education and learning how to create passive income streams. Chapter 3, Why Teach Financial Literacy? Kiyosaki argues that schools don't teach financial literacy and that it's up to individuals to educate themselves about money. He also emphasizes the importance of taking risks and not being afraid to make mistakes, as long as you learn from them. Chapter 4, Mind Your Own Business. In this chapter, Kiyosaki stresses the importance of minding your own business, meaning you should focus on building your own assets and creating your own income streams instead of relying on someone else's business. He also explains the difference between assets and liabilities and encourages readers to focus on acquiring assets that generate income instead of liabilities that drain it. Chapter 5, The History of Taxes and the Power of Corporations. In this chapter, Kiyosaki explains the history of taxes and how they were originally intended to be temporary measures to fund wars. He also talks about how corporations have the power to legally reduce their taxes and how individuals can benefit from setting up their own corporations. Chapter 6, The Rich Invent Money. In this chapter, Kiyosaki explains how the rich use creativity and innovation to invent money, meaning they find new ways to create value and generate income. He encourages readers to think outside the box and to constantly look for new opportunities to make money. Chapter 7, Work to Learn, Don't Work for Money. In this chapter, Kiyosaki encourages readers to focus on learning instead of earning. He argues that investing in your own education and skills will pay off much more in the long run than focusing solely on earning a paycheck. Chapter 8, Overcoming Obstacles. In this chapter, Kiyosaki talks about the common obstacles that people face on their journey to financial success, such as fear, cynicism, laziness, and arrogance. He offers practical advice on how to overcome these obstacles and stay focused on your goals. Conclusion. So that's a summary of Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. This book is filled with practical advice and inspiring stories that can help anyone who wants to achieve financial success. If you haven't read it yet, I highly recommend it. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video.